Yanking the twisted plugs out of the little one's pentagon-formed shoulder blades, the middle-aged man gripped the girl's dainty arm tightly, quickly pulling her along. As if she had lost her innocent wings, the flimsy form which she possessed fell against his rugged body. Splurging thick indigo substance from the connections he had severed, the thick tube she was situated in seemed to beam blue. Tall and triangular, signals became apparent to the man. An action he made could never be forgiven by the controllers. He had done it. Firm, he latched onto her narrow shoulders, steadying her spasming legs. It was strange to feel a rise. It was strange to gravitate towards the urge. Day in and day out, he would see these girls in beacons across the city towers, life-absorbing forces for the prosperous city. "You're okay. It's all okay." His lower lip faltered, not knowing if he was saying it to the placid girl or himself. Metal surrounded them, reverberating with every step they trotted as he led the dazed girl out onto his recruited transporter, an opaque, sharply shaped triangular bike, monochromatic grey and sturdy for his work, 3 seats in the back. Quickly, he sat on the driver's seat after allowing her to be situated on the back middle, awkwardly strapped in. Back resting against the stern wall, drifting to the side. Her eyes blinked, eventually closing, as if she did not want to see the artificial light the city offered through the transparent bike's walls. As if it almost hurt to see. Home was the destination, a small panic swallowing the man's thoughts. Resting his eyes upwards, he noticed the lines above the city's barrier glowing. The onlookers knew. Drat! Twisting the fingerprinted key in the nook of his identity, his fingers rolled the cold accelerators hastily, the engine beginning to stir, dragging them forward. Involuntarily, a small gasp escaped from the girl sitting in the back, her body plunging at the movement, a little violently. Although used to nothing, everything seemed to hit her apparent senses. In a way, her brain became muddled for the first time, a thoughtless train tracking every new sensation passing, yet also feeling nothing against the dull-formed neurons. All she knew was her purpose. That was all she needed to know. Even knowledge on that subject was lacking, yet now she could feel a tingle across her body. The world around her tickled, pricked, pushed, as if the tiny little particles collided with her very existence. Or is this how the world should feel? No time to hesitate, the journey progressed. Everything seemed different now, screaming and hostile. A glance from a bystander causing an inconsolable fear the man had never experienced before, pumping his adrenaline higher. Holding position, the reality he witnessed alongside the feelings he began to harness was overwhelming his whole being. Yet somehow, there was a greater distraught development within his thoughts as they took a vast leap upon reaching his known abode. Sickly was the pungent smell that greeted his nose. Strangely, the young one seemed to swing her head. It was obvious the odor attached itself to her senses as well. She swung her body forward, in an attempt to get further away. A futile attempt, and an innocent one. Leading himself onwards, he quickly entered his household, the door activating by the identity lock. The sight was too much to bear. Buckled roughly in the back seat, the frail girl thumped with every lump the road offered. The frightened father steered the vehicle forward, into a misty, unknown section of the world. Spinning, his head seemed to quake, breaking before the bleak blues of the sea which surrounded the rocky roads. Eyes planted on his bleeding knuckles, he let out staggered breaths. What a careless thought to think that sanding his overworked calluses at this strained moment would give him a sense of comfort, a sense of normality. Gradually, the scene began to change. What once was a simple, dull path travelling to the bridge of the man's birthland, a place the adult only knew of his whole life, was now a desolate city wasteland. Crumbled bricks, houses burnt from many years ago still in disarray, nature itself halting, and the severe lack of life. Was the earth beyond the walls always this horrid? "Hey, kid." The man grunted, those words failing to bring the child's cognizance into reality. She simply cocked her small head in the mirror above, her pale hair draping to one side, letting the reflection of the one who spoke avert his gnarly gaze in surprise. "Can you even use your words?" A simple question in a complex situation, his mind slowly escaping and numbing. At least the city was behind them. Little thoughts, little thoughts. Wondering, he let his eyes settle on her figure again. Eerie eyes greeted him, yet still no wanted words. He supposed that, in itself, was his answer. "All right then." Murmuring, he felt his heart stumble, unable to calm down. Absolutely clueless on how to stop the tension in his mind, he merely travelled onwards. Soon he settled his vehicle behind the wreckage of a ruined house, sensing that perhaps it was safe now to remain static. With a great exasperated sigh, he plopped his head onto the steering wheel. "Why is this happening to me?" He began to let out a weary laugh, his pointy nose shriveling. "Hells." Tears threatened to trickle along his face, a deadly feeling crawling up his chest. Grief, perhaps. Silent, the young youth sat there, docile and unresponsive to the adult holding back the overwhelming shock and pain kicking in. Was it worth it? Was it worth saving this girl? What for? He whimpered slightly, picturing his family once again, sprawled on the icy Florence sections. His wife was last seen in shambles, and his dearest son in her disconnected arms across the same room. Was it even real? For his whole life he played his part. A cog in the system, a happy functioning family, non-defiant at his core. Lifting his hefty head, he peered at the thin child, a deep hatred for himself sinking in. What an ugly feeling. Sizzling, his hot head pondered if he could have accepted that all of this had to be a certain way by evolutionary design, a deeper purpose. The small girls were solely used to be siphoned for the people, allowing the city to function and offer its very warmth. For him. He worked hard at his job, hands bruised and older than he was, dealing with the white beads of the land, arranging them and witnessing the slight pulsing of those fixed in such cells, their lives being drained. It was the norm, yet a part of him always felt conscious of his supposed wrongdoing. Indeed, he was just a man, just another simple man groomed to live life as such, to work, to marry, to fulfill, to care, and to die. Happiness wasn't what he lost, it was comfort and normality. If the girl were to die anyway, why did he suddenly change? For a girl whom he did not even know. His wife and son lay dead. Their dutiful deaths were on his hands. Was it worth fighting for change when nothing good overall would change, when all was okay as it was? An insignificant retaliation, a greedy root. All these faulty thoughts dug at his core, as slowly the bike's vibrations began to simmer, dwindling into a complete halt. His life, rippling before his eyes, scraped a selfish thought in the forefront, making everything before this moment questionable. It didn't have to be this way. Quivering, those feeble words came out. Conflict with a vast constitution enraptured the head he so tightly wore. The girl began to thrash, causing the man to snap back at the sudden movement and sound. Strained, she let her body wander frantically. This, in turn, made the older one shift up, albeit confused, exiting and entering the back, pushing her shoulders down into the soft seat's backing. What in the world is wrong with you? Those blunt words sunk into his stomach, a deep, unsettling feeling, causing him to narrow his scowl. That very question's answer was already within it. Shame washed over him. Abruptly, her rapid motions ceased. She then cracked her neck to face him, those peculiar yellow irises grabbing his attention. Tangled, her hair covered her like a coat, messy from the hectic movement. Pressing the faded blaring blue button on the control panel against the back of his driver's seat, the seatbelt that trapped her released its clasp, allowing her freedom. However, not a single centimeter of movement was seen from the tiny one. Steadily, he let his burly hand raise up, grasping the slender shoulder and nudging it his way. Her body slowly fell onto the seat between them. Everything about this tore at his heart. A child so helpless and hollow, not even knowing how to use her body. That night, he decided to drive on without any idea as to what to do with this child. All he knew was, this was all he had now. This was all that was left for him.